They say the 45 ACP is outdated, too slow, too bulky, but what if everything you thought you knew about this legendary round was wrong? For over a century, the 45 ACP has built a reputation as a fight-stopping powerhouse, trusted by soldiers, law enforcement, and everyday carriers. But beneath its well-known history lies a world of surprising facts, forgotten firearms, and even failed experiments that most shooters have never heard of. From battlefield myths to hidden innovations, we're uncovering the shocking truth about the 45 ACP, secrets they don't want you to know. Stay tuned, because this is not just another caliber breakdown, this is the story of a round that refuses to die. The origins of the 45 ACP, a cartridge born from necessity. The story of the 45 ACP begins with a harsh lesson learned on the battlefield. At the turn of the 20th century, American troops fighting in the Philippine-American War found themselves outmatched not in firepower, but in stopping power. Their standard issue, 38 long Colt revolvers, proved woefully inadequate against the fierce moral warriors, who often shrugged off multiple hits and kept charging. In close-quarters combat, a cartridge that failed to immediately incapacitate an attacker was more than just a liability, it was a death sentence. This glaring issue forced the U.S. Army to seek a more powerful alternative. The solution? A 45 caliber round with enough punch to put an enemy down fast. The legendary John Moses Browning answered the call, developing the 45 ACP automatic Colt pistol. A rimless, straight-walled cartridge that packed a heavy bullet with substantial kinetic energy. In 1911, this new round found its perfect match in Browning's iconic M1911 pistol. A firearm so effective that it remained the standard-issue sidearm for the U.S. military for over 7 decades. But here's where things get interesting. While many praise the 45 ACP's effectiveness, some argue that its adoption was more about perception than pure ballistic superiority. After all, the 45 wasn't the only solution to the stopping power problem, and modern testing has shown that shot placement often outweighs caliber size. Still, history suggests that for the U.S. military at the time, vigor simply felt better. This wasn't the last time the 45 ACP would prove its worth in battle. Fast forward to World War II, and Filipino guerrillas once again relied on this cartridge, this time against the Japanese invaders. It's almost poetic, the very same bullet that was developed due to combat in the Philippines came full circle, helping resistance fighters defend their homeland. The 45 ACP had cemented its reputation as a fight stopper. But was it truly the ultimate handgun round? That debate has raged for decades, with some swearing by its sheer power and others questioning whether its size and lower capacity outweigh its advantages. Regardless of which side you're on, one thing is certain: the 45 ACP had made its mark on history, and its story was far from over. Unexpected variants and surprising applications. More than just a handgun round, most people associate the 45 ACP with one thing: the 1911 pistol. And for good reason, it's the gun that made the cartridge famous. But if you think that's where its story ends, you're in for a surprise. Over the years, the 45 ACP has been adapted into some truly unexpected platforms, from revolvers to submachine guns, and even rifles. Take, for example, the M1917 revolvers. When the U.S. entered World War I, demand for the M1911 far outstripped supply, forcing the Army to look elsewhere for sidearms. The solution? Colt and Smith & Wesson modified their large-frame revolvers to chamber 45 ACP. There was just one problem: the 45 ACP is rimless, and revolvers typically rely on a rimmed cartridge for proper head spacing and extraction. Enter the half-moon clip, a simple yet ingenious metal clip that held 3 rounds together, allowing the rimless 45 ACP to function flawlessly in a revolver. But here's where things get even crazier: the 45 ACP almost became a dedicated revolver round. After the war, surplus M1917 revolvers found their way into civilian hands, leading to the creation of the 45 Auto Rem. A version of the 45 ACP with a built-in rim so shooters wouldn't need half-moon clips. While it never replaced the classic 45 ACP, it proved that the cartridge was far more versatile than people assumed. And it wasn't just handguns. The submachine gun era turned the 45 ACP into a force to be reckoned with. The legendary Thompson submachine gun, better known as the Tommy gun, was originally designed for trench warfare in World War I. Chambering it in 45 ACP gave it devastating close-range stopping power, making it a favorite among soldiers, gangsters, and law enforcement alike. When the military wanted a cheaper alternative, the M3 grease gun was born. A simple, cost-effective 45 ACP submachine gun that saw action well into the late 20th century. More recently, the 45 ACP found itself in some of the most innovative modern firearms, like the Chris Vector. This futuristic submachine gun features a unique recoil system that redirects energy downward, making rapid-fire 45 ACP rounds far more controllable. It's a testament to how adaptable the cartridge remains, even in an era dominated by high-velocity 9mm and 5.56mm rounds. And let's not forget about rifles chambered in 45 ACP. While it's not exactly a long-range performer, some manufacturers saw the appeal of a carbine firing this heavy-hitting round. The Marlin Camp carbine, for instance, was a blowback-operated rifle that used standard 1911 magazines, making it a handy companion for those who already carried a 45 pistol. Some enthusiasts even went as far as modifying lever-action rifles to fire 45 ACP, proving that the cartridge's adaptability knows no bounds. So, is the 45 ACP just a pistol round? Hardly. It's been in revolvers, submachine guns, carbines, and even experimental platforms that never made it past the prototype stage. The real question is what's next? Could we see a new generation of firearms breathing fresh life into this century-old cartridge? Or is the 45 ACP slowly becoming a relic of the past, outpaced by modern ballistics and capacity-driven trends? The debate continues, but one thing's for sure. The 45 ACP has gone far beyond what anyone originally envisioned. The 45 ACP is best known for its stopping power. With a standard 230-grain bullet traveling at around 830 feet per second, it delivers a heavy impact. However, this power comes with a trade-off: recoil. Some argue that the 45 ACP is difficult to control, while others claim it's more of a slow, manageable push compared to the snappier 9mm. The truth depends largely on the firearm. In a full-sized steel frame pistol like the 1911, recoil is tamed significantly. In contrast, compact polymer-framed pistols amplify its kick, making rapid follow-up shots more challenging. When it comes to stopping power, the 45 ACP has a long-standing reputation for effectiveness. The idea is that a larger, heavier bullet transfers more energy to the target, potentially requiring fewer shots to stop a threat. However, with advancements in modern hollow-point ammunition, the performance gap between the 45 ACP and the 9mm has narrowed. Today, high-quality 9mm defensive rounds can be just as effective, raising the question of whether the 45's extra bulk and recoil are worth it. Another key factor is magazine capacity. Traditional single-stack 45 ACP pistols like the 1911 typically hold 7 or 8 rounds, while even modern double-stack designs like the Glock 21 max out at 13. This is a significant drawback compared to the 9mm, where standard pistols often hold 15 to 17 rounds. For some, this is a non-issue, as they believe a more powerful round reduces the need for extra shots. Others argue that in high-stress situations, having more rounds per magazine is a clear advantage. So, is the 45 ACP still relevant today? It remains a capable round, offering excellent terminal ballistics, but it comes with notable trade-offs in capacity, recoil, and firearm size. For those who value raw power and don't mind the limitations, it's still a solid choice. However, With modern ballistics technology, the once clear advantage of the 45 ACP has become a matter of personal preference rather than undeniable superiority. Where do you stand in this debate? Beyond its use in standard pistols and submachine guns, the 45 ACP has found its way into some unexpected platforms. One of the most interesting adaptations came during World War I when the U.S. military faced a shortage of M1911 pistols. To meet demand, Colt and Smith & Wesson modified their large-frame revolvers to chamber 45 ACP, resulting in the M1917 revolver. Since the cartridge was rimless, half-moon clips were developed to hold the rounds together and allow for proper extraction. This simple but effective solution kept these revolvers in service through multiple conflicts, proving that the 45 ACP wasn't limited to semi-automatics. The round has also been used in submachine guns, most famously the Thompson or Tommy gun, which saw action from Prohibition-era gangsters to World War II soldiers. Later, the M3 grease gun provided a cheaper, simpler alternative, while the MAC-10 and the Chris Vector pushed the boundaries of compact 45 ACP firepower. The Chris Vector, in particular, is notable for its unique recoil mitigation system, which directs force downward to help keep shots on target. Surprisingly, the 45 ACP has even made its way into rifles and carbines. The Marlin Kampf carbine, for example, was designed to use 1911 magazines, offering a lightweight, easy-handling platform for those who wanted a rifle chambered in the same round as their pistol. Custom gunsmiths have even modified lever-action rifles to run 45 ACP, a testament to the round's adaptability. Another lesser-known but fascinating application is in shot shells. Manufacturers have produced 45 ACP, rat shot, or snake shot, cartridges, which contain small lead pellets encased in a plastic capsule. These rounds are designed for pest control at close range, providing an unconventional but effective use for the cartridge. Even in suppressed applications, the 45 ACP shines. Because standard loads stay subsonic, they pair exceptionally well with suppressors, reducing noise without the need for special subsonic ammunition. This made the round a viable choice for covert operations and specialized military roles, such as those carried out by tunnel rats during the Vietnam War. With its adaptability, the 45 ACP has found uses far beyond the standard semi-automatic pistol. Whether in revolvers, submachine guns, carbines, or even suppressed platforms, its versatility has ensured that this century-old cartridge remains relevant in a variety of roles. The 45 ACP has had an incredible journey, evolving from a battlefield necessity to a cartridge with an enduring legacy. It has served in wars, police forces, and civilian hands for over a century, proving time and again that raw power and reliability never go out of style. Whether in a classic 1911, a compact concealed carry pistol, or even an unexpected platform like a carbine or revolver, the 45 ACP continues to make its mark. Despite the rise of smaller, higher-capacity calibers like 9mm, many shooters still swear by the 45. Some argue that modern bullet technology has closed the performance gap between calibers, while others maintain that nothing beats the sheer stopping power of a 45 slug. The debate over capacity versus power, recoil versus control, and tradition versus innovation will likely never end. But one thing is certain: no other pistol round has quite the same mystique and respect. Ultimately, the 45 ACP's legacy isn't just about ballistics or history, it's about the shooters who trust it. Whether you're a collector, a competitor, or someone who simply appreciates a well-designed cartridge, the 45 ACP remains a choice, backed by over a century of proven performance. So what do you think? Is the 45 ACP still king, or has time caught up with it? Let us know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of firearms. See you in the next one.